How's it going, everyone? It has been the Lone Vault Wanderer, starting off this ham radio podcast showing my face. Yes, I've finally done a face reveal on YouTube. If you're interested in that initial face reveal video, I'll have Maddie link it in the description below. There I explain everything, why I face revealed, and I also tell you my real name. So again, if you are interested, the video will be in the description. And also, if you want, feel free to subscribe to my channel because we'll be doing a lot of Let's Plays and gaming videos moving forward. The reason why I'm doing this video at the start of the podcast is to unfortunately announce that moving forward, I will no longer be a co-host of the Ham Radio podcast. So starting next week, you're not going to see me here, unfortunately. And it really saddens me to say this, and I'm choking up right now trying to get these words out. But unfortunately, that's going to be the case. Again, in the face reveal video, I explain everything about why I revealed and why it took so long, importantly. But in terms of why I'm leaving the podcast, in that video, I also tell you that I'm working in the video games industry, and the fact that I'm coming out with my face and my identity is out in the public, it just means that it's no longer appropriate for me to be on the Ham Radio podcast. Before I did the face reveal, my identity was anonymous, so I could do honest gaming news and discussions, and I could also be on the podcast. But now, with my identity out there, I just can't do that anymore. So you deserve to have a host that can be honest in their gaming news and discussions, that can be transparent and honest about the games that they're playing, and just generally be a better co-host than I can be right now. This really does suck, as I've been doing the podcast for over 3 years now, and I have some amazing memories with Maddie, with Noah, and with Karak that I really don't want to let it go, but unfortunately, it's just the way things have to go. The upside is that I can now show my face on YouTube and I can really get behind my Let's Playing and my Twitch streaming. So again, if you're interested in that kind of content and you liked watching me here, or listening to me here, I should say, then feel free to follow me on those platforms and I look forward to seeing you there. On Twitter, I announced the fact that I'm leaving the Ham Radio podcast, and in response to that, there was a very small contingent of people that have said they're no longer going to watch it or they're no longer going to support the podcast moving forward. And to those people I say, while I respect your decision absolutely to do that, I will try and urge you to keep watching, listening, and supporting the podcast moving forward. Maddie and Karak are amazing co-hosts of this podcast. They're also incredible people that I call my friends. So I would really appreciate it if you continue to watch their podcast moving forward. I'm sure they're going to keep going strong with it. I know they're going to bring amazing guests on in the future. And whenever they do find a replacement for me, I'm sure that person will be great and you'll all love them. And I really appreciate it if you support that person as the new host moving forward. So that's all I have to say at this stage. Now you're going to see a podcast with myself, Maddie, and Karak, talking again about why I'm leaving, the face reveal, my future content on YouTube and Twitch, all that kind of stuff. And we do reminisce about some pretty cool stories that we have, like Maddie and I actually meeting at E3 2 years ago. Maybe some of you didn't know about that. So I encourage you to watch the rest of the podcast too. Anyways, Wastelanders, that's all from me. This has been the Lone Vault Wanderer. I really appreciate your support over the years. Please take care of yourself, and would you kindly keep fighting the good fight. What is going on, everyone? It has been the Lone Vault Wanderer here with episode 146 of the Ham Radio podcast. I wonder if they can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound a little muffled, but it's all good. It's like you're like a trick-or-treater, you know? You got that like hollow kind of voice right now.
A scary-ass trick-or-treater.
It's The Shining. Hi, everyone. How you going? Beautiful mug.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Lone's going to be hosting this one.
So, if you don't follow my channel, I just did a face reveal earlier this week. And it's weird looking to the camera. I'm usually like looking off to the side. And this is actually going to be my final Ham Radio podcast, given my face reveal and all that. We wanted to take the time to explain it, why I'm leaving, why I did the face reveal, all that kind of stuff. I'll ask Maddie to put the link to my face reveal in the description so you can actually see the full reasons that I gave there, because I contained pretty much everything. So the long story short is that, I am leaving the podcast, and that's because of the face reveal and me coming out with my identity. 2 years ago, I got a job in the video games industry. The reason why I could keep doing the podcast and keep giving my honest opinions and all that and my criticism, it's because everything was secret and everything was anonymous. But for the longest time, I've wanted to face reveal, and I had to manage that properly because, I wanted to keep my job in the industry. I wanted to keep doing YouTube, and speaking with my work for several months about it, we finally got to the point where I've been able to actually to face reveal. But as part of it, I just can't be on a podcast or even on my channel and be completely honest about, the games industry news or games that I'm playing or whatever it is, because it's just too much of a conflict there. And I think it's just best for me to step off the podcast and you guys get someone that can actually, give their honest views and stuff. So that's what I'll be doing. It sucks. It really sucks because this is not something that I want to do necessarily. Even though I know that I think out of the three of us, like I missed the most podcasts because my work schedule's been crazy. But yeah, the main reason is that I've face revealed, my identity's out there. I'm struggling to find the words. I can't sit here and say I'm giving my honest opinions and stuff about news and gaming news and games. I just can't do that anymore. So it's best if I get off the podcast, have someone in there that can do it. And moving forward, it would be a lot different content on my YouTube channel, and I'm happy to go into that. But yeah, that's the main reason.
Yeah, why don't you tell everyone like what kind of content you're going to be doing going forward? Because Karak made a good point. It's more like a celebration. I mean, it's sad that you have to leave the show because of this. I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? You get to do something though that you love, and that's important. So it's like, what do we and everyone else listening here are going to be able to see going forward?
So mostly on my channel and also on my Twitch, because I've been streaming heavily, we will be doing tons of Let's Plays and tons of gameplays. And in truth, that's like the kind of content that I've always wanted to do. Maddie and I have joked in the past about how just not necessarily easy, but there's always a plethora of content that you can do when you're Let's Playing. There's always a new game to move on to. There's always new content to do. And I just love playing and streaming. I mean, streaming has been the most fun thing for me over the past year, and it's really wanted me to do a face reveal, be able to show my face and, play games and have people interact with me, because it's all well and good when you're just, playing games and having the voice, but I think it adds an extra element when you have a face cam there. People can actually engage with you, see your reactions, see who the person behind the camera is. And that's why I've really wanted to face reveal so I can fully embrace Let's Playing and streaming. So yeah, on my channel, you can find, and it's just search LoneVaultWanderer on YouTube. You can find it, and same on Twitch. I'll be streaming a ton of games. I'll be Let's Playing a ton of games. We're about to open a Patreon for that, merch store. Like I've been really putting a lot of thought and effort into this, so I can embrace this content, and we're just gonna have a bunch of fun with it. So yeah, I should have a video as well on my channel by now, which talks about the Patreon and talks about my uploading schedule and exactly what I want to do. I know that I want to do another 4x4 playthrough on survival, which should be a lot of fun. And again, I stream that, upload the Let's Play content afterwards to my channel. So yeah, that's the plan for me at the moment. And yeah, this is hard, man. This is tough.
Tell me about it. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: is like we had the three original hosts, myself, Noah, and Lone. We built up a lot of good memories there. The only reason, honestly, that we had a third host, Karak, come in right away, I'd say about a month and a half, 2 months after Noah left, is because Karak was just the ideal replacement. He offered that personality. He was a very good friend. It just meshed well with Lone. It's going to be really hard to, you can't really replace it. It's going to be hard to find someone to fill that void in the show because, so many people come for you. We've always had, I think, some of the best discussions in gaming. I know, obviously, I have a little bit of a biased opinion when I say that, because I only say that though because we have like Karak's, wisdom. We have a lot of experience there. Lone, you got the legal side of it always covered, and also, you have your own opinion. I don't know. I feel like I just hype things. So like, it's just like you got every quadrant covered. And so it's going to be really hard to, ever find a replacement. People aren't letting Lone get out the door, by the way. My DMs have been getting swarmed like, hey, man, if you need a host, I got you covered.
I see.
I'm not kidding, bro. I'm like, can we all just like respect that the man's leaving? Like,
yeah, people have been asking me, and I keep telling them they haven't even started looking for a replacement yet. So
yeah, like we didn't
crazy
because this. We should also preface, this didn't come as like a surprise or a shock. Like you said, this has been months and months in the making. We've been discussing this beforehand, like the possibility of it. you let Karak and I know well in advance, like if this happens, I would have to leave the show. Yeah. And we were both just like, all right, if that happens, that's what happens. Like, let's just keep doing the show and enjoy what we got left if that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you though, man. I really am, because I think it's going to be good. Because the best content comes when you're enjoying what you're doing. If you don't like what you're doing and you're just slaving over the computer, it's like, where's the fun in that? So I'm glad you're going to do what you enjoy. Not that I don't think you enjoyed this, but obviously, like Let's Plays and stuff, those are there's the bee's knees, man. They're fun as shit.
And I think, especially when we started the podcast, but somewhat when I started my channel as well, there was just a game to be excited about. Like, we did that because we were so pumped for Fallout 4, and it's what I absolutely loved to do at the time. And I think not just us, Matty, but so many other Fallout YouTubers in the community, it was a struggle after the game kind of released and died out, because there was no content to cover. There was nothing to do. The one that probably capitalized on it most is like Oxhorn, who did his questing lore series, which was really good. But a lot of us kind of didn't know what to do. We're a bit directionless. So I tried to do gaming news and discussions for different things, and it kind of worked out for a while. I mean, Borderlands 3 stuff was pretty popular, but eventually I just thought, it's going to happen again with Borderlands 3, isn't it? I'm going to get up a bit of a following. I might get great views and stuff, but the same with Fallout 4. Once the game is out, then it's just back down to square one. And I didn't want to keep going through the motions with that. And I've always looked up to channels like Gopher and Many a True Nerd, that they have such, loyal followings just doing Let's Plays and stuff. And they play whatever they want. They'll always have people coming back to watch their channel. And to be honest, that's what I really want, especially, again, because of my focus on Twitch streaming. Twitch streaming, man, it's so much fun. Like, I love the interaction live. I love talking to people. And I get to play games at the exact same time. I mean, what more could I want in my spare time? You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm struggling to think of words right now. Karak, save me.
No, I just think it's awesome. I mean, this kind of stuff happens all the time. So I'm sure some people will take it weird, but the fact is that if it's not people changing, it's consoles, it's PC technology. There's always something. It's like, Sega's gone, so now it's depressing. We're gonna have to talk about this new Sony competitor, because that's what I lived through. After a while, you're just like, I mean, that's, if somebody wants to do something, that's what you should be happy about. And I've seen a little bit of the occasional negative thing, which pisses me off, because to me, I'm like, well, if we want to stop people, or if we want to bitch about people being able to do what they want to do when it comes to games, then does that also lead to telling developers you have to make exactly what I want? I mean, at some point, how many people are we going to try to control? And so if somebody wants to do Let's Plays, because I was here when you were trying to do the YouTube collab mode, and that one day I even tweeted you, I think, or no, I DM'd you, and I was like, what happened to collab mode? And then we started talking, and you're like, well, yeah, and then YouTube hit me with the demonetization, and I could tell you weren't happy about it. And being able to switch to Twitch and actually have like people, because you even told me one day, you're like, people can do donations there, and I'm actually seeing somebody reach out and say your stuff is worth something, where honestly, not to be rude, YouTube doesn't do that right now, guys. For somebody's Lone size, for somebody's Maddie and my size, it does not do that. It goes out of its way. That's why Classic Game Room's on Amazon Prime, because and they're a huge channel. They're like, fuck it. And the reason why is because YouTube does nothing to keep a person like alone feeling, I can just jump in and stream and do as well on YouTube as I can somewhere else. And once you start looking at like face reveals and companies, man, companies have some really weird rules. So you see I have teachers on podcasts who can't say cuss words or they'll get fired. You have all these different things. So the fact that like Lone, who works at a major part of the industry, can't be on a podcast is not that surprising. I mean,
it's not.
It's really not. Even if they aren't like, you can't. If they start putting controls on what you want to say, then you're going to be fucked. Because at some point you'll either mess up or you'll just be like, I can't say anything, which sounds weird, because whenever you do that, somebody thinks it's the negative. When you're like, well, I'd rather not say anything, it always sounds like you're saying something really bad about somebody. So to me, it all makes sense. I mean, you guys we talked about this before. You guys had Bethesda-based channels and Fallout in particular. And when that went away, look at how hard Matty has had it. There's been times where he's like, dude, finally Kingdom Come is doing really well. But, trying to jump from different things. And if somebody
It's
like
tough.
Lone finds something he likes, people should fucking celebrate it, not have an issue with it. I mean,
we definitely
sorry, that pisses me off.
Oh, absolutely. And that's one thing we really wanted to enforce is this should be and obviously it's sad. I'm not going to take away from that. And I was actually bummed as fuck for
Me too,
a good amount of time today, just waiting for this to come. But, with that all said, I know there's a lot of sentimental value, but this should be celebrated. This is a big step forward. And it's a bold step forward. That's the other thing. It's not easy to do something like that,
Maddie's kid is moving out.
Yeah,
Maddie's like, little tiny baby Lone has graduated. He's going off to college. I can't take it. I can't. Give me the bottle.
It literally is like sending a kid off to college right now. It's like, all right, be safe. Don't party too hard.
Then you pop the champagne afterwards, and it's all going to be okay.
But I mean, the thing is there's ways to get anybody back on as guest spots, stuff like that, to get Lone back on, and he'll be doing Let's Plays. It's not like people are disappearing. I mean, it does suck, but at the same time, I'm big into the celebration of somebody doing something that they actually like, and to have to sit here and all of us talk at times about YouTube and the bullshit, to actually see somebody being happy, not to be rude, I really don't care if it affects us, because it's like somebody's finally happy. Because a lot of times we were bitching. I'd even be bitching in our DMs to each other, and I'm like, they fucking demonetized another goddamn thing. And at some point you go where you're sort of not respected. What's the term? You go to where you see like a return for what you're doing. I think Twitch and Lone fit perfectly together.
Yeah.
I go on. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, because as everyone knows, obviously I work a job, and a lot of the times when I was doing YouTube heavily, I would work full time, sit at a computer all day, and then I'd come home and have to edit and sit at a computer all night and produce videos. It was Fallout 4, it was Borderlands 3, it was scrounging the internet for other kind of relevant gaming news. And for ages, because I didn't stream, I wasn't playing video games. It's insane. And I think many people listening to this podcast for a while knew that I was sitting here talking about gaming news and games that I was playing, and I barely played games. And I think that was just insane, because I kept feeling like I had to produce videos and always get into the grind. And Matty, you and I have talked about this. Whenever we're playing games, we feel like we're not making videos, and we could be better spending our time. So for a while, I was just like, God damn, I wish I could just do all of the things. I wish I could kill two birds with one stone, as it were. And I thought, well, why don't I just stream video games? Like, I'm playing games, which is number one, is my hobby. Like, I love YouTube and Twitch, but number one, gaming is my hobby, and that's what I want to do above anything else. But hey, I can live stream at the same time, so Twitch is covered. But hey, I can actually record that content and upload it to YouTube for people that don't want to watch me live, and that's covered. And for a while, like when I was doing Let's Plays last year, for about 3 months straight, it was pretty heavy at the time. It was going okay, but again, the one thing that I think really let me down was the fact I couldn't show my face. I mean, as much as people that follow me now have been doing it, I don't think the majority of people want to watch someone play a game with no face cam for 5 hours when I'm streaming. Like, just looking at gameplay can get very boring.
Unless you're Gopher.
Unless you're Gopher and have a majestic voice, which I don't. Or Medi and True Nerd. I feel like the vast majority of Let's Players and streamers, show their face. And that's a big part of the reason why they grow. And I think why my Twitch growth hasn't been the fastest, or why my Let's Plays didn't work out in the past. And again, I talk about this in my face reveal video. I think the reason why they didn't pan out in the past is because it was just gameplay. It wasn't fun. And I think because of that, I couldn't be myself and fully enjoy what I was doing. It was weird. I was streaming on the weekends, but no one could see me. It was a really weird disconnect.
It was just live gameplay.
It was just a live gameplay. I was like sitting in front of a screen for a couple of hours talking to people via voice. It was weird. But now, with the face reveal, I can really get back into Twitch streaming. I'm planning to pick up another stream in the weeknights in addition to our weekend streams, which will be good. Cool. Again, planning to get fully back into Let's Plays. starting with Fallout 4. I'm going to have like Patreon backers vote on the games that they want me to play and stuff like that. So it's all worked out nicely. Again, you know, if you want to go to my channel and subscribe, it's very easy to find me, and you can find the face reveal video in the description too. But yeah, that's my plan, and I'm super pumped, but at the same time, super bummed that I can't say on the podcast. But it's one of those, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like the compromise was, and I told, you know, Maddie and I talked about this. I think last year, Maddie, I first let you know. Actually, you know what? No, it was probably well over a year ago, Maddie. I remember the first time I thought about this. It was ages ago. I was like, I want to do this, and then it fell off. And then I brought it up.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Do you remember that?
I do remember. Like, yeah, I mean, we've had multiple discussions about it, and I was always just like, yeah, man. I mean, like, if this is what you want to do, but just think of like what you could be risking if you do it, you know, because I knew you worked a legal job, and I knew that like the opinion side of things, if you start, let's say we were praising Horizon Zero Dawn or we were dissing Metal Gear Survive, that could affect your job. And it's like, you know, we both knew that, of course, and we were like, well, we got to weigh out how that would work. And like you said, it came to a point where you got to take a sacrifice somewhere. And I think you've had 100+ episodes here. You know, I wouldn't blame you if you were like, yeah, let's just move on to Twitch streaming, right?
Yeah.
The door's always open here. So I'd probably do the same if I were in your shoes.
Yeah. And yeah, again, it was a compromise that for a while I put off and that I didn't want to make. I think I remember now, Maddie, I sent you like this big long email saying, this is what I tend to tell them. What do you think? And then it fell off.
Yes,
yeah, I started it again late last year. But yeah, so can't be on the podcast. It sucks. I'm going in circles right now. But you'll be seeing a lot more from me. Also, like, I'll be going to E3 this year and vlogging the thing. And if Maddie can go and if the rest of the crew can go, we will do vlogs, man. We will absolutely do vlogs. It's going to be so good. Because what a lot of people don't know is that, like, Maddie and I have met 2 years ago at E3. You know, I went there as part of my job, but I saw Maddie, saw Noah, Connor, our Chest Breach, everyone. It was really cool. And again, because of the restrictions, no one knew about it. Like, yeah, dude, I wanted to announce.
Remember, like, when we were editing our vlogs for it, and when we were talking about the E3 2016, like, we were so hell-bent on making sure we didn't mention you at all.
Oh,
like,
I know.
I think we were talking about Sea of Thieves on one podcast episode. And I was just like, yeah, I was playing with Noah, like that, like, because Noah was there, but I almost said Lone. Yeah, because Lone was like right next to me playing the game. We were freaking out over it. We had to pretend he was never there. That's why I was so hyped when you revealed your face. I was like, we're posting that picture of me, you, and Noah.
Yeah. Even Mackenzie had this video where you can hear me laughing in the background, and no one picked up on it because I'm like, no, you can't see my face. It's fine. That was after Connor kind of dropped chairs in a restaurant.
Oh yes,
that was good. Yeah. But yeah, like it was crazy. Like, we all met. I met some of my heroes. Like, I met Todd, like you did, Maddie. I met Pete. I met Matt Grandstaff, Adam Sessler. Like, it was a crazy thing. And again, no one could know about it. It was really weird. And and there's also like other things of what I do. Like, for instance, do you guys remember I was doing a charity stream, or a bunch of charity streams, and it went really well in the end. Like, we ended up raising over $2,000 for children and young adults with cancer, right? And I think that was really amazing. But no one could know about it. Like, no one could know what I've did. And it's not about bragging, but it's about, I just want people to know what I've done with YouTube and the good things that I've done through charities and all that kind of stuff. So I really just wanted to come out and fully embrace that. And again, you know, when I go to an E3, I want people to know that I'm there and chilling with Maddie and chilling with the crew and do vlogs and take pictures, like, and go to conventions and meet fans. And like, you have no idea how many opportunities I've had to turn down because of the face stuff. Like, I've had to turn down panels at PAX. I've had to turn down other opportunities with companies and working with them. But now that's out of the window because it's just me. You know what I mean? So I'm really happy to have reached this point.
Something that I think is going to blow people's minds when I tell them this. Do you remember one night you came to my hotel? It was, you know, during the week at E3.
This is sounding,
you were a little tipsy.
Really weird.
Yeah.
He comes in and Bethesda just dropped news about like Nuka World. And I'm like, whoa, sit down. We're doing the dual com.
We did a video. That's right.
Yeah. So, and Lone's like getting like this close to the mic, and anytime he says like a P word, it popped like that.
It.
And he's like,
explosives.
Because he just didn't realize how fucking close he was to the mic. So if you guys want to know what video I'm talking about, just look up my Nuka World videos. It's like the big news haul we talked about. I think it's like about a 12-minute video if I remember correctly. And like Lone and I are pretending we're online together, like talking over Skype. Like I think we went to like the making up a story in the video. But yeah, for those who want to know, yeah, we made that video together in the same room, like directly next to each other.
And like when you guys were doing your E3 discussions, like talking about all the games you played, I was just on the other side of the camera watching.
Yeah. When we were talking about Ghost Recon Wildlands, when we were talking about what else? Mafia 3. Lone was the cameraman, for those who didn't know that. Lone was our cameraman. He was setting us up the whole time. It was wild how much he was involved in everything we were doing, but no one knew.
And now you do. Like again, like we have so many of those really, really cool memories. And I think one of the craziest memories, you guys remember a podcast ages ago, we were with Brian Delaney, the actor, voice actor for Fallout 4's protagonist. And we talked about, he's going to face reveal me when I'm in LA and stuff like that. And we actually did that. Like, it was insane. Yeah. We took the photos of him covering my face and then him revealing my face, and I uploaded that to Twitter. So if you want to check that out, you can. But like, man, I was like, the day I can upload this photo is going to make me so happy. And almost about 2 years later, that happened. So it's been crazy, man. Like the amount of stuff that I just couldn't share with everyone because I had to keep things private. It's crazy. It's really insane. And like, even now, like I can say that, I've been invited to Bethesda's E3 conference this year at E3. I get to go to that and actually talk about my experiences. So yeah, a lot of stuff that now I can do because of the face reveal. I can't wait. I'm beyond ecstatic.
So what games are you looking forward to playing then on your channel? Well, we'll move this conversation in another direction. Like what's on the list?
So Fallout 4, as I said, and the reason why, because I haven't played, like, to be frank, I'd never played Fallout 4 properly after the game was released because I played all of it for the review, right? And this was before I had my job. Like I didn't do the review then. That was like 6 months before I started. So I did that, and then I'd never really picked up Fallout 4 again, maybe for the DLC and stuff, like Far Harbor and Automatron and stuff. But I haven't really played it properly again, and I think I want to give it a second go. So there's that. Also, again, like I said, I'm going to have Patreon backers vote on the game that I can play, and on the list we have like Mass Effect, Deus Ex. I haven't thought of the other games that I want to put on there, but those two games in particular I really want to play. And yeah, man, it's just going to be picking fun games that are old, some of that are new. Dude, when Nintendo Switch comes out with the Virtual Console, man, I want to play so much Nintendo shit.
When?
When?
Are you sure?
Hopefully.
Is that not if, maybe?
Karak
didn't what?
To me. I
Didn't they do something with like streaming on Twitch? Like they don't want you to stream Nintendo games or something like that. Isn't that a thing?
YouTube, if you're part of their creator program.
Partner. Yeah, creator program.
Yeah.
Just so annoying.
But
it's like they've done so much right.
There's a lot of people that do speed runs and stuff of Ocarina of Time on Twitch, so it's pretty big on there. So like I'm pretty comfortable with that. But look, and if they don't, I'll pick up a Wii U and I'll do it from there because it has all the Virtual Console games that I could possibly want. So I'd love to do that. I'd love to do a Virtual Console series where I just play through all the games there, like all the classic Zeldas, Pokemon, stuff like that. And yeah, man, like I haven't really thought too much beyond that because this week it's been taking so long to get the Patreon together, to get the rewards.
Yes.
It's such a hard process.
I know. I worked on mine for a year.
It's insane because you don't know what to give. You don't know the level that's appropriate. Like I had at one stage, no joke. All right, $40 a month if people want to play a game with me once a month. And then I looked at Karak's and it was $25. I'm like, all right, I'll reduce it. And then people online were like,
don't do that, buddy. You'll never stop.
But here's the problem. Like I said, all right, $30, and I shared with my community to see what they thought. And they're like, you should increase that. And I'm like, fuck. I didn't know.
That's such a tear.
Yeah, but
what I did was I looked at so many Patreons and just tried to find a happy medium, and I think I have, because I provide pretty good value, and I've kept a pretty consistent amount of them for over a year now. So I'm very lucky I've done that too, not taking that for granted. But yeah, it's like it's good you put that investment in, because like if you get the price right, you'll keep a lot of your patrons for long term, which is important.
You also you don't want to scare people off with too high of a price. You know what I mean? Because it's really easy to reduce a price, but it's really hard to increase it again, because you're taking stuff away from current backers. So it's a really fine balance. I think we've got it. So we should be going live with that tomorrow. Also with the merch store and all that. Yeah, man, I'm so pumped to really get back into the grind, because like I did the face reveal earlier this week, and it's just been people losing their S word. I realized I can't be swearing. Man, that's a tough one. Yeah, they're losing their crap, and I was doing all this other stuff behind the scenes, so I really wanted to do another vlog to explain what I'm doing in the future. So that should be up tomorrow. Yeah.
Awesome. That's really exciting. I personally can't wait to see what you do. I'm gonna be a frequent viewer, jacking your streams.
Hope so.
Well, we'll just make sure that we give enough money to the patron that we get to choose what game, and we'll just get the shittiest games, like Palatine's Gun. What's that metal motorbike one? I can't remember, but it like got 20 on Metacritic. We'll just vote for the worst fucking games possible. Survival version of one of these games. It just takes him like 60 hours. Just kill his desire to play any games.
Well, when I said I wanted to do Fallout 4, people were like, yeah, you should do survival mode. Sorry. I'm like, all right, I'll do it on the condition I can install a mod that allows me to fast travel, because otherwise it's just insane.
Gotcha. So much. I've tried it without that. It's so much footwork. It's annoying after a certain point. It's like, oh, this is cool. I like this. I'm really in it. And then you get to a point where you're like, all right, enough. It's like the beginning of Kingdom Come Deliverance, but you're just walking everywhere because you don't have a fucking horse. Okay, you know what I'm talking about with that? Oh, yeah.
I really like how Horizon Zero Dawn does it, where you have a fast travel pack. You know what I mean? And then you can only fast travel using those. And I think that's really cool.
I forgot about that.
Dragon's Dogma does it. Dragon's Dogma does it quite well as well. Does something to that effect.
No.
See, I never played Dark Arisen where they like added all that stuff in.
Dark Arisen was tough, man. That's like I remember it said something like level 45 or higher, and I went in at level 60 and got the smoked. And I was good. I mean, I was actually pretty good at that game, and I remember just getting my ass handed to me multiple times, and I was like, and leaving that special tower and going back to the normal places. Like, damn. And then one of my friends played it, and he's so good at it. But it's special travel was like these jewels, and you put one in one place and you could port between them. And it was pretty cool. I like any games like that. So you're thinking Fallout 4 will be your first one then?
It's definitely going to be the first one, and then the second one will be voted on. Again, like I wanted to get back into it. Like, when you're playing a game for a review, I don't know what it is. I don't think it's not that you don't enjoy it, but you don't enjoy it as much as you probably could. Because like when I was playing it, I had my phone out and I was writing down notes. Every little thing that I wanted to say in my review, like I would type that down. And I was like, oh my God, I keep taking myself out of the game and it's not immersive anymore.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to go back through and play it properly. Give it the respect it deserves. And,
that's the beauty of loading screens, because there's so many in so many games, like with Monster Hunter or Kingdom Come.
Notes.
Yeah, that's what I do. I got a notebook that I actually handwrite all my notes. So whenever like I'm reviewing Kingdom Come right now, I'm still chipping through it. And like whenever there's a loading screen, which is like before a conversation, sometimes they're getting rid of that, thank God. But or whatever, like when I'm fast traveling, I'll just take the time to write some notes. So it's like, but I get what you mean though. It's like a process. It can definitely like impact the experience, because you feel like you're not just in there as a gamer. You're there as more of like it's business affairs, Yeah. So I feel you on that. That's definitely why I've tuned down some of the reviews. Like I did impressions for Kingdom Come. I did impressions for Monster Hunter World, which I just beat. I did impressions for Dragon Ball Fighters, and they've been doing just as well. My Kingdom Come Deliverance impressions did really well. So I was just like, Okay, and that's been like the formula that's worked for me. It worked really well for Assassin's Creed Origins, so I've just kind of like that formula of like first 10 hours, first 20 hours, because these games are so fucking big now that I'm not going to beat it in the review period usually, and then I'll just finish my review later, and that's how I enjoy it more as like a gamer rather than just like business.
It was crazy.
I think sometimes putting your foot down can suck too, because if you put your foot down and give a score, and then like somebody comes along and that they have an issue with that with an impressions video, you're just like, sup, these are my impressions.
This is my random thoughts.
See ya. Yeah. And I'm walking off.
I mean, it's true. I don't even treat it as a safe space, but it's totally true because it like creates a here's my thoughts right now, subject to change. Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, it's very cool.
You don't really need to be
different people like different things.
You don't need to be comprehensive when you give impressions. Like with a review, you're like, all right, graphics, music, blah blah blah. It's really methodical. And yeah, so like when I did that, I honestly think that doing a review for that game affected my enjoyment of it. And I get it because like journalists, presumably anyways, they love to do reviews and they're really passionate for it. For me, I'm just passionate about playing games first and foremost. So yeah, really excited to jump back into that. And yeah,
absolutely.
And cool that they support you. I mean, it's cool that Twitch, YouTube doesn't, as well, but it's definitely cool that there's a place now for people to just play a game and enjoy it. And there'll always be some jackass telling you you're going to suck, by the way, but you know that.
Oh, I'm awful.
I saw him. He got some shit for. I think when you're awful, it's better because if you're mediocre, then people attack you. If you're really good, people expect things. So I think you're in good shape. Just continue to suck is all I'm saying.
It makes the gameplay entertaining. Like that's what it's funny because when I am streaming, like I am not the best at games. Like I'll be completely honest with that. But and people will complain like, "Oh, Lone, why didn't you do this and that in the Twitch chat?" And I'm just thinking in my head, this is the exact reason why you're here because you love it. Like you love seeing me fail and giving me crap in the chat. So yeah, I think that's what makes me when I play games.
See, for me, it's like I used to stream Fallout all the time. So if I didn't make like a obviously right choice that would benefit my character the most, like people would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Like you should know." Like, this is how the decision would roll out. And I'm like, yeah, like, I love Fallout. I love covering Fallout. I talk about it like it's nobody's business, but I will forget things. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah. But I'm pumped, man, to actually try survival mode too. Again, I am getting that mod where I can fast travel. Otherwise, I'll spend most of my time walking. But yeah.
Fun. It's fun. I did enjoy it. I think it got, a lot of flack because it knows fast travel, but that's easily fixed by mods, then
modded, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, the only issue I have with any Bethesda game studio is difficulty, and survival mode actually doesn't have this, if I remember correctly. See, I was talking about memory just a second ago. There you go. Is like bullet sponges. Like I feel like the higher difficulties you play on, some enemies get really spongy. But I think in survival mode, if you're within a certain level threshold, like enemies die in a couple of shots, but you also die really fast.
Does survival remove VATs? Because you could still do headshots and shit, right?
No, I think it's
because if survival survival removes VATs, then man, that'd be hard as fuck. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, they still have VATs.
But I do know that it increases your damage output to enemies, but equally it also increases theirs to yours.
Yeah, so, I was gonna say I thought it was this kind of survival mode. See, because what's funny is, speaking of VATs, I've noticed that people don't like the new VATs in Fallout 4 as much. Like they like the traditional pause,
stop
like
time.
It wasn't. In the old Fallout games, like not
because
just
it was
New
slowly
Vegas,
moving.
But like back then, yeah, they didn't like the slow mo stuff. They liked, not even like I said, not even just 3 New Vegas, like 1, 2 tactics, like the really pick your spot and stuff. And I think that'd be really interesting to see in like another Fallout game, like what you could do in Fallout 1 and 2, where, for example, you could pick the eyes for the Deathclaw. I always thought that was really cool because it's stuff like that could make a difference in a battle. And if you could pause and select that, then that could make a difference. I like it, but as an unneeded tangent.
That's what we're best at.
Yeah.
Alone. What did you do? Shirts right now? You were talking about merchandise.
Yeah. So like, it's just a simple, like my avatar that you've seen on my channel and just the name LoneVaultWanderer. So it's a really basic one that,
I'll buy one.
No, it's fine. If you want to buy it, you can absolutely do it. It's not like I tend to get rich from this or anything. It's just, you know, every YouTuber has a merch store and has a t-shirt and a hoodie and a mug. So I just wanted to do that, and also potentially, like, I don't know.
Or you're like me and do a limited socks run.
Or a limited socks
yeah, no
run,
shit.
right?
That was hilarious, man. That was awesome. That was awesome.
But yeah, like I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to, like, you know, be in my own stream with the shirt on, and like I think it'd just be cool and stuff. So, and just, you know, seeing people. I remember we did this with the podcast ages ago. People would be sharing their pictures of the Ham Radio t-shirts all the time to us on Twitter. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I loved doing that. Honestly, our biggest issue was keeping sites up. Like we switched from I think of a Spreadshirt to District Lines, and then our representative from District Line dropped us out of nowhere, and then we lost our t-shirt store entirely. And it was like, all right, what the fuck do we do now? And so yeah, like t-shirt stores, they're definitely there. I wanted to make a merch store again soon, because I was thinking to myself, like, the same exact thing you were thinking of. Like, I always, part of the fun of, like, when I show up on camera, I love people seeing what I'm wearing, and just like, it's exciting. I don't know if that's weird to say. I always get excited to pick a shirt out for a video, and it would be awesome if I could pick out a shirt for, like, myself, like about myself rather, for a video. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
well, I just did it through Spreadshirt. Spreadshirt's pretty good with it. Like,
Teespring, Spreadshirt, Redbubble are all pretty good.
Yeah. And Spreadshirt's really good. Like, everything is shipped out from the US, right? But you can actually, it's weird. I'm like looking at there, but I should be looking at the camera. You can, like, it's all from the US, but you can say, I want an AU domain. I want the prices to show in AUD, or US or Canadian or whatever. So, like, it's pretty flexible in that regard. And the shirt designs look pretty cool. So yeah, like that's happening. I might tie them into some Patreon rewards if we can do that. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. And we finally, I forgot to mention, like, we've settled on the schedule for my uploading and streaming moving forward. So I'm really looking forward to just getting in the grind.
Absolutely. That's a one test, is like the schedule, because I have set up so many streaming schedules, and I always fail them. I'm like, yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7:00 till whenever the hell I want to stop. And I'll, like, end up starting on a Wednesday at 9. Just be like, all right, this is how it worked.
Like, sometimes, like, you set a schedule and you think, yeah, I'm always free on Wednesdays next week. I've got a thing on. So I have to change it around. Yeah. Like, you know, it's always annoying. And especially for me, when on the weekends, like, my girlfriend and I, or my fiance, we both live away from our families. So pretty much consistently, at least once a month, we're always traveling on a weekend, either to her family or to my family. And, you know, we're always having to fly for those trips. And then sometimes you don't want to do anything and you want to relax. Because, yeah, schedules can change. So,
yeah. Is she joining you on any videos? I never asked that. She got her Twitter. She didn't follow me back.
She got her Twitter. She is probably going to join me on
remembers
streams.
everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that. I clicked on her profile because she replied to a selfie of Loans, and I was just like, she's not following me. What the fuck?
Yeah, and that was my my reading glasses selfie.
Yes.
I don't have it now because all you're going to see is, like, this ring light and the reflection. But yeah, no, she should be joining me in streams a lot. Maybe a video here and there. I'm not too sure, because also as part of Patreon, I'm having, like, a exclusive vlog series. So she might appear in those as well. So yeah, man, it's everything is going pretty good, and I'm excited for it. I'm nervous as anything. Like, I was nervous a lot before that face reveal. So I usually schedule my videos to go up at 5 a.m. my time. I was up at 4 and I couldn't get back to sleep. You know, oh man, it was nerve wracking. It was.
I know how you feel, because, like, before I launched my Patreon, I couldn't sleep a wink for a week because it was just always on my mind. I was like, oh God, like, here it is. And I expected, like, such an awful response, and, like, everyone was like, fuck yeah, Maddie, let's go. And same thing with your face reveal. What was that? 1K likes, 5 dislikes, like, this incredible, unheard of ratio.
Insane. Yeah, it was crazy. And, like, beforehand, because not many people watch my stuff, you know, that were Fallout fans, I was getting, like, maybe 1,000 views on a video. This one, 6,000 views, bam. Like, it was insane seeing all these people come back. And now they're all like, oh, Lone, you're doing Let's Plays again. Let's get into it. So I'm really excited to jump back into it. And I'm doing my first live stream today, actually. Well, it's like 2 days by the time this uploads. But yeah, I can't wait to see what the turnout is for that. Because I think I'll just be doing a random Q&A. So yeah, dude, it's really exciting, nervous, all bundled into one, but I'm really looking forward to what the future holds. Like, who knows?
Absolutely, man. Can't wait.
So, this is a somber ending. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want it to end.
It doesn't have to end like
episode. This. You guys need somebody to sing you a fucking Whitney Houston song right now, or?
Oh man, but look, I do want to say at the end of this podcast, and I'll make sure I look at the camera when I do this. To everyone that's watched since the beginning, what was it, Matt? Like, someone said that we were on a 2 or 3 year anniversary, something crazy like that.
3 years.
3 years. Yeah. So we've reached our 3 year anniversary. It's been 3 years of doing the podcast. It's been a blast. To everyone, like, you've been blowing up my Twitter notifications and DMs asking if I really have to go and stuff, but unfortunately I do. Hopefully, you're excited for what's to come for me personally and my channel moving forward and my Twitch. But I've had an absolute amazing time co-hosting this podcast. And I just want to say, I've seen a lot of people that have said, I'm probably going to stop watching the podcast because you're not there. Mind you, it's a small contingent. Keep watching it. Like, keep supporting this podcast. It's honestly, it's one of the most cool, chilled out podcasts on the internet. I'll keep watching it. I'll keep supporting it as much as I can. But yeah, like, try and stick with it, and whoever is the replacement, I don't know who that person will be. But support
neither
them.
Do we.
Yeah, neither do you. Like, no, they haven't even started looking. But yeah, like, try and support the podcast and the new host, whoever that is, moving forward. And I hope you've enjoyed having me on. And it's, I don't want to say too much because I'm getting sad. Fuck.
Yeah. Been awesome. It's going to continue to be awesome. So,
absolutely.
I mean, it's not. It is a little sad, but damn, I don't know. Maybe it's because I came from a shit place, but all I am is happy for you. So it sucks to not be able to. If you want to show your face, by the way, because some people don't, but it sucks to not be able to talk about something or whatever. It's fucking terrible. So, like, to me, being able to, like, have your face out there if that's what you want and stuff like that is awesome. Because it would be weird to go to a fucking event and then not tell anybody that you were at the event or what. Like, that would be, I mean, if you're doing a preview or something, that's one thing where you can't tell anybody for 10 days. But what you were talking about, that kind of stuff, I think would absolutely drive me nuts after a while. So,
dude, I'll give you a little story, actually, that I've just remembered. So several years ago, before Fallout 4 was announced, and this was because I was keeping my face just because I wanted to keep it private. I was doing an event for Bethesda at our, it was an expo for what you would call GameStop in America. And it's called EB Games here. And I was doing this kind of like...
Boutique?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
All right.
I know, yeah. The OG name, the traditional.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly.
I was doing a presentation about Fallout history, right? We were going through all the Fallout games and talking about the main story points. And I was in this enclosed room. It was just enclosed, but before people would walk in, you had people at Bethesda telling everyone, no cameras, no photos, no nothing. Like, he can't, have his face revealed. And still somehow a photo got up on Reddit. It was because I had this like joke about Todd Howard, and luckily my face was blurred at the time. Like, just crazy stories like that where I couldn't show my face.
Oh, yeah.
Even cosplaying at PAX last year, I cosplayed as a psycho from Borderlands because I could wear a mask. You know what I mean? Like, it really weird, odd stuff like that I had to do. That now it's just it's no more.
We're gonna
no longer restricting me.
We're gonna see a story of someone who definitely passed you and didn't know it was you at a convention or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
because there was someone at E3 who I remember the year you were with me, Lone. Like, you passed me by. You were going, like, I think online for it was like VR or something like that, and a viewer stopped, shook my hand. He said he like enjoyed the channel. He said he liked the podcast, and I'm like, probably likes Lone. And Lone just walked right by him, and he wouldn't even know. I was just like, all right,
that's insane. That's insane. But yeah, like,
man.
That's not going to be a problem anymore. Thank God. And yeah, it's somber at this stage that I have to leave, but things change.
Ultimately, we're gonna make it not somber. This is Lone's call. He wants to do this. We gotta support him. Let's do it.
Thank you.
So let's end this with on a happy note.
Yeah.
Lone, I'd like you to close this one out because who knows whenever you're gonna pop back in here. Door's always open, like I said.
Yeah.
But it's all you, man.
Thank you, Maddie. So, Maddie and Karak, though, I want to say, take this podcast forward, make it strong. I know you guys are going to keep doing well with it. And it's been an absolute blast. So to everyone, thank you for watching Ham Radio Podcast. I'll be signing out officially, and you'll see Maddie and Karak in the next episode. So yeah,
he'll be
care.
Wandering the wasteland. Be out wandering.
I'll be truly lone.
Yeah,
I do want to say,
exactly.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to steal any thunder, but I just want to thank both, of course, Karak as well, but from the original 3 that started this podcast, both Noah and Lone, because their personalities are really what built this to get to this point where when we put in Karak, like it worked out, and this show just wouldn't be possible with how this journey has gone, if that makes any sense. So yeah. I just want to make sure that every host that's been on this show gets the proper thanks they deserve, because you guys are really what make the show. I don't say this in a condescending way. I know I serve more as a host who presents the information, and then I'll chime in, but I feel like you guys, your discussions, your opinions, and banter is what really makes the show. And so without you guys, it's not the same. So, I just wanted to make sure everyone, former and current hosts, get their, the love they deserve. Thanks. And now, Lone, you can close it out again.
Group
Sorry
hug.
about that.
Group hug.
Getting a bit tight in the throat. No, this really does suck. I don't want to do this, but thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the comments in future podcasts. So take care.
Absolutely.
Peace out.